The following is a review for critical, analytical, and educational purposes only, and is protected under Article 17 and 107 in the United States Fair Use Code. This video is not an infringement on copyright. Please enjoy the video.
Okay, so what's with the attention-grabbing title of this video? Well, before I talk about the matter at hand here, let me just say that this video is going to be filled with spoilers for Disney's latest animated musical Frozen. So if you haven't seen the movie, then you might want to do that before watching this video, as I will be spoiling almost all of the key story points. But if you want a review, then let me say that you should definitely go see Frozen. It's a great animated movie that's progressive for Disney, with stunning visuals and a few standout song numbers and complex characters. It's not quite Beauty and the Beast, but it's real good, so yeah, go see it. Oh, and one more thing, as the title suggests, this is a video talking about feminism, and I'm a heterosexual white male, and as we all know, there is nothing worse than being a heterosexual white male. So if I'm completely wrong, or have no idea what I'm talking about, or I should just stay out of these topics, then please let me know. That is what the comment section is for. So then, let me tell you a story about me watching the movie. I attended a press screening of this movie with a few other journalists in my area, and one of those journalists was a female writer who wrote for a feminist magazine that I will not name here. She wasn't a film critic to my knowledge. So then, early on in Frozen, the young Princess Anna, voiced by Kristen Bell, who has been locked up in her castle for years with very little human contact, sings about how she would love to meet her true love on the day of the coronation. In terms of Disney tropes, we've been there and done that. And what do you know, on that day Anna does in fact meet someone, Hans, voiced by Santino Fontana. Hans is pretty much a perfect guy, and since Anna has grown up begging for affection and human contact, she falls in love at first sight, and the two agree to get married despite knowing next to nothing about each other. Once again, been there, done that. So later on, during a failed attempt to talk her Snow Queen sister Elsa, played by the brilliant Idina Menzel, down from her ice palace on the mountain, Elsa accidentally gets ice in Anna's heart, which will freeze her body if not treated. It's then revealed by some magic trolls that the only thing to thaw a frozen heart is an act of true love, and the characters determine that Anna can only be saved by true love's kiss. It was this exact moment that the feminist reporter walked out of the theatre and didn't return. Now, maybe her leaving was a sheer coincidence, maybe there was a family emergency, or maybe she could only legitimately stay for about an hour before having to go and attend some other business. I don't know for certain, I am not psychic, but I think that her being a writer for a feminist magazine, attending a movie screening despite not being a movie critic, and leaving the moment a true love's kiss was mentioned, doesn't seem like a coincidence. But I just wish she had stayed to the movie's conclusion, because Frozen actually turns these outdated and negative storytelling tropes on their head in the third act in unexpected and legitimately clever ways. First of all, Anna and Hans falling in love with each other is ridiculous. In fact, there's a moment early on where the other male love interest, Kristoff, voiced by Jonathan Groff, actually bashes the very idea of love at first sight, and even Elsa is highly critical of the approach. But because Anna is the main character, or at least the one the audience spends the most amount of time with, we're almost forced to go along with it. After all, after the loss of her parents, Anna is desperate for any sort of love and affection, which she wasn't getting from her sister, so where else is she going to get it from? So when the rug is finally pulled out from under the characters, it's also pulled out from the audience, as it's revealed that Hans never loved her in the first place and abused her need to be loved by tricking her into loving him in order to gain the throne. This is an incredibly well done twist, as Hans actually seems like a great guy at first. He serves the story point of looking after the kingdom for Anna so that she can move the plot forward by looking for her sister. He actually does a great job of seeing the citizens through the perpetual winter, and when Anna doesn't return, he takes it into his own hands to bring back Elsa, but making sure that she's not harmed in the process. And even when he does have his big gotcha moment, it's not a plot hole. This is a character who at the very beginning knows what he wants, but the way he's going about it is changing based on the events that are happening around him. You know, like a person when they have a plan. Hans is a person. He's not like Gaston in terms of cartoonish villainy, but he's also not trying to take over the world. He's pretty much the face of every horrible guy who has ever tricked a vulnerable person into love for his own benefit. And yes, I'm 21, I left college a few years ago. Stuff like that does happen in relationships when people are young, and the people, mostly guys, who do it are horrible people, but they're still people. For adults, this is a great dramatic twist, but to the younger audience members, this will be a shock to the system. The Prince Charming you've been dreaming about might turn around and stab you in the back. Welcome to reality. Snow White and Sleeping Beauty may have walked off into the sunset with nameless handsome princes, and while that was okay for the mid-20th century, the progression of equality in the late 20th century and early 21st century, which is a 100% good thing, is becoming more critical of that kind of approach. And I think that the feminist writer watching the movie and walked out of the screening so that she could be critical of that outdated Disney princess formula, but leaving at such a pivotal moment would cause her to be misinformed, if that is indeed the reason she walked out. Like I said, I don't know for certain. Disney, in one fell swoop, is critiquing one of their most prominent stories, the story of love at first sight. And as for True Love's Kiss, even that familiar story point is turned on its head, because that's not what is stated will cure Anna of her freezing heart. The line is, "Only an act of true love will thaw a frozen heart," and Anna, so taken up in her own personal fairy tale, deduces that it must be love's first kiss. That's her idea of true love, so when she loses that true love after Hans's double cross, she has to use another form of true love. And that love is the love that she has for her sister. She sacrifices herself in order to save her sister's life, and that is the act of true love needed to break the spell. It's not love for someone she's only just met, it's the love for someone that she's literally travelled over mountains for and has tried to help for most of her life. It wasn't just the act of love that broke the spell, she did it herself. It's also a great twist to have Olaf the Snowman, who on the surface looks like a basic comic relief character, but is actually a representation of the sisters' love for each other, which was a great approach. This is Disney in the 21st century. Even though they have been heading in this direction for the past few years, whether it be breaking down masculine stereotypes in Tangled to actually having a villain in the lead role in Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen is the antithesis of the 21st century fairy tale, to the point where many critics and bloggers have started to look at Elsa's character and how, despite being a Disney princess, she isn't given a love interest. At one point, Hans even says that in terms of love, he wasn't going to make any progress with Elsa. And you don't have to look far to find people asking if Elsa is a homosexual, and while there's nothing in the movie to directly lead people to that conclusion, I'd say that she is still a great LGBT role model regardless. I mean, think about it, she was born with her powers could easily be read as a metaphor for being different, just like in the X-Men movies, and she's afraid to let people know her big secret because she fears backlash. She's constantly told by her parents that she needs to be a quote-unquote good girl, which is an oft-repeated phrase. In fact, her big coming out song, Let It Go, which is easily the best and most powerful song in the movie, starts as a lament on her situation, then changes into a self-acceptance ballad, then evolves into a full-on celebration of who she is. She even changes her costume from a restraining cloak to a diva dress, for lack of a better word, and lets her hair down to reveal her true self. Elsa is the embodiment of every woman who doesn't want to conform to society's expectations. Or maybe I'm just reading too deeply into it. Are we ever going to get a Disney princess meets princess story? I don't know, maybe not anytime soon, but Frozen is a great step forward in terms of princess characters in the medium, and if that feminist writer who walked out of the screening is watching this video, then I urge you to give the movie another chance if those familiar outdated tropes were what caused you to leave the screening that day. At least see Frozen through to the end. Believe it or not, Disney has evolved, and I cannot wait to see what they do next as they grow into maturity. Hey everyone, thanks a lot for watching this video, and yeah, once again, if you think as a white heterosexual male I cannot comment or my argument is incredibly flawed, then please let me know. That is what the comment section is for, after all, like I said. So yeah, but if you liked the video, then please like it, as it really helps me out. It helps to share this video with other people. Leave a comment below with your thoughts, even if it is a disagreement. I do want to hear it. This is a video based on discussion, so let's have some discussions here. And if you want more movie related videos, whether it be reviews, editorials, analysis, whatever, then please hit that subscribe button. Once again, that really helps me out. Be sure to share this video around. And yeah, and even if you have nothing to comment in terms of feminism, what did you think of the movie Frozen? I'm presuming you've seen it if you've stuck out with this video this far. So yeah, that's all from me. I shall see you guys next time.